4 cruel realities every biker must face. So if you guys haven't watched Bladed Angel's recent video, 4 cruel realities car guys must face, I highly recommend watching that video first before watching this one, as some themes will kind of overlap, except my last reality check is something that car guys won't have to face necessarily. So please stay tuned until the end of this video. The first reality check would be number 1, your bike isn't going to get the ladies. There's this ongoing notion or belief that if you go out and buy or ride a motorcycle, you can pick up chicks, no problem. Sorry to spoil your fantasies, but that's absolutely not true. The glory days of some badass chick popping a squat on your backseat just simply isn't a reality. Even the nicest of bikes will only garner the attention of fellow male riders. Go to any bike show or meet and you'll quickly realize that it's male dominated. As you can imagine, hardly any girls care to ride, let alone want to ride behind someone who quite literally can put their life at risk. So in short, don't buy a motorcycle expecting to be the next James Dean. Instead, opt for a puppy, similarly to how my brother said it in his video. Hell, Doug DeMiro proved this point in his older videos where he had a freaking Ferrari just sitting around and almost nobody gave a damn. However, the moment he introduced a puppy to some ladies, well, see for yourself. Number 2, you're not invincible, so stop riding like you are. I know this point is gonna make some of y'all squirm in your seats. Listen, I get it, adrenaline rush, dopamine hit, you wouldn't understand, blah blah blah, yada yada yada. I've said it once, and I'll say it again. Stop riding like there's no tomorrow, saying those corny phrases like, not everyone gets to live, or whatever. Listen, don't buy into those models. There's a difference between riding like a maniac and living life to its fullest, quote unquote, and riding like a tamed beast and living to ride another day. Be that second person. Too often whenever I hear about motorcycle deaths, and wait a second, brace yourselves because y'all are about to see the dark side of me, but if a motorcyclist caused his own death, meaning he was either excessively speeding and ran into whatever object, or maybe he high-side crashed trying to show off in public and wasn't wearing a helmet and, he flew over his bike and split his skull open in the process, I have a really difficult time having any sympathy for him. However, if the biker happened to pass due to an incompetent driver or maybe another rider or just, an accident like they target fixated off a cliff, then I show my respect and wish him or her peace and prosperity in another life. So the lesson to take away from this point is to ride, to have fun, but don't go out there pretending you're never gonna die on 2 wheels, cause death will find you if you keep teasing it. Trust me, there's a lot of people that probably love you and would rather have you home safe. Number 3, you're not the coolest guy on the road, period, end of story. Without fail, every day I catch motorcycle guys behaving like immature attention seekers far more than car guys, hands down. Couple examples come to mind. The first example would be that guy revving by himself at stoplights and looking to his left, then looking to his right, to make sure that everyone around him is watching. Granted, I know car guys do this too, right? But it seems like the car community has beaten this behavior senseless out of many car guys. I no longer see it anywhere near as often as I once did a couple years back. Anyways, now I get it, if you're in, say, a biker group and everyone's revving just to be obnoxious, why not join in on the fun? No shame in that, right? However, to just rev at a stoplight meaninglessly by yourself seems rather pathetic to me, especially the whole looking around situation going on. I catch Harley guys and sport bike riders doing this far more often than, say, a naked bike rider or a dirt bike rider or what have you. Whether I was in Texas or Arizona, I continually saw this behavior. If you're an older fella, I get it. You're not getting the same kind of attention you were probably used to getting as a young man, but don't be flexing your midlife crisis onto others at stoplights. And if you're a sport bike rider, don't do this, man. Come on. Anyways, 99 out of 100 people actually get pretty annoyed at this behavior. Hell, I mentioned this before, but South Park made an episode dedicated to shaming Harley guys, and there's just endless memes of squids on sport bikes that, yeah, you get it. Granted, all those are probably a joke, but still, folks aren't amused. Another example of wannabe cool guy syndrome, as I'll call it, would be loitering around public areas with your bike and gear. It's one thing if you genuinely are waiting to pick up someone or meeting up with another person to go hang out elsewhere, but I shit you not, I've seen bikers just hanging around saying, "Hey, what's up?" to passerbyers, specifically ladies because they got nothing else better to do. Piece of advice, don't flex too hard. you'll come off as some tryhard. If you're wondering why this story sounds a little personal, that's because it was. And another quick tangent, one Friday evening I was at a Quick Trip gas station pumping gas into my GTI when I noticed a stunningly gorgeous Ducati Panigale 959 in that silk white with red wheels. Of course, not even 2 feet away was this okay looking fellow with his arms crossed, helmet off on his seat, and just looking off into the distance until I approached him. Now, if y'all ever see me in person, you hopefully realize that I'm a pretty approachable guy. I like to talk to people and listen to their stories. Well, this guy wasn't having any of my shit. No way, Jose. As I was approaching him to compliment him on his sexy boy, he bluntly noticed me and says, "Go away." That was it. So I complied but still left him a compliment, saying, "Love the bike, man." To which he responds coldly with, "Nobody asked you nuttin'." And long story short, he claimed I was cramping his style and was distracting him from spotting any girls walking into and out of that Quick Trip convenience store. To this day, it boggles my mind. Why would you bother picking up chicks at a gas station? I mean, wouldn't they have, a car? Okay, they're not gonna just leave their car overnight at some random gas station just to hitch a ride with some douche. Anyhow, on to the final reality check. Number 4, you're not gonna ride forever. Or at least won't ride as much the older you get. This reality actually scares me more than death itself. Can you imagine being told that one day you're gonna outgrow this passion, quite literally? Let's be real, guys, when you're young and dumb, you can ride a sport bike or whatever bike for that matter, no problem. However, you don't see many 50-plus-year-old men on super sports. If you do, they're probably more rare than seeing a girl on a sport bike in America. And heaven forbid if you ever catch a 70-plus-year-old on a super sport. My point is that someday you're gonna either hang up that helmet and gloves for good or ride far less than you once did. Sure, some of you can tell me about stories of your grandpa riding until his deathbed, or maybe you're that Harley guy still riding well into his 80s. Hats off to you guys, and I hope to be just like you one day. Still, our reflexes are far worse as we age. We're not as mobile or flexible. The cold and heat can heavily impact our riding aptitude. The list goes on and on. Aging is inevitable, and perhaps changing our riding style is the only way to continue riding for decades to come. Yet there's a reason why the vast majority of motorcycles in America have nowhere near the mileage of cars. And before you car guys say, well, are motorcycle engines not designed to last long? Actually, they are designed to last pretty damn long. There's sport bikes that, are revved the crap out of and still make it to 50K given, you take care of the damn thing, right? And then there's plenty of other big cruisers, adventure bikes, touring bikes that make it into the hundreds of Ks, but a lot of people just simply don't ride that much. Probably because they're, harder to operate than a car and obviously less safe. Far more riders will eventually make the switch to just commuting in a 4-wheel cage permanently and turn their backs towards our beloved 2-wheeled machines forever. Until then, ride off into the sunset and enjoy this passion for as long as it lasts. Alrighty guys, let me know if you agree with these cruel realities or if I missed any. Please comment them down in the comment sections below. Thank you all so much for watching. Hit that subscribe button for more videos just like this, and I'll see you all next time. Peace.